Tonight on Scratched, Killer Felines.
Susan Bristo had the idyllic life. Growing up on a small family farm in central Michigan with her mother and father, the host of animals around the farm gave her all the company she could ask for. Although she had a tight bond with her family, after graduating high school she was excited to leave the farm and make her way in the world of new experiences and new people. Moving far away to attend college in Norfolk, Virginia, Susan soon met her first real love, a handsome naval officer, Kenny McAllister. Smitten with each other, Susan and Kenny hastily married just before he shipped out to war in the Middle East. Despite his long months away on a Navy submarine, Susan remained dedicated to the love of her life, her husband, Kenny McAllister, even after his mysterious disappearance at sea. After an extensive search was eventually called off, Kenny McAllister was declared dead, leaving behind his wife Susan and their 3 children, Kenny Jr. and twins, Buddy and Leanne. Susan used the generous life insurance payment to start a business with longtime family friend Ronald Foster. The business quickly grew, and Susan's life seemed back on track. Her 3 kids were enjoying summer break from school until one afternoon when they made a gruesome discovery. Detectives were on scene immediately, but not used to this type of horrendous crime in their usually sleepy little town. Suspicion quickly turned to Susan's 12-year-old daughter, Leanne.
Here's the thing. I always had a fishy feeling about my sister. Leanne was always the jealous type, and I just thought, she's got evil in her heart.
During interviews with detectives, Leanne's twin brother Buddy recalled the horrific sight and all but claimed Leanne was the culprit.
What about your sister?
Well, she really scared me with that knife. And I don't really trust her anymore.
Buddy was always jealous of me because everyone knew I was the better twin. I had the brains, the beauty. And honestly, everyone said that me and Kenny Jr. were more alike in every way.
Well, growing up when I was younger, Buddy and Leanne, they were always the fighters of the family. And by fighter, I do mean with each other. They fought each other a lot. I just always remember that time I ran into the room with Buddy and just saw Leanne over her with the knife. And Buddy automatically accused Leanne, but I knew.
That day that I found Mama, I was in shock. Once I came out of the shock, I saw the knife lying there next to her body, so I picked it up. And of course, right when I picked it up, that's when Kenny Jr. and Buddy came in. So they all thought I did it, but I would never kill Mama. I loved her.
And I saw my mom in the living room, and she was lying on the ground.
I always thought it was Leanne. 99% sure. She was caught with the bloody knife.
Despite the growing suspicion toward Leanne, detectives could not get a confession out of her, and without a confession or further evidence, they had to let her go.
I was the assistant district attorney when the case first happened. It's been a while, and a lot of memories are coming back, most of them unpleasant, but I'm willing to talk. I started to look everything over, and there were boxes of evidence scratched into the sofa.
She was my best friend. She loved animals more than any human I've ever met, especially cats. She had, of course, her favorite, Midnight. I can't think of anybody that would want to hurt her, except maybe Ronald, her business partner.
According to Susan's best friend, Susan had recently noticed discrepancies in the business finances and began to suspect her business partner and longtime friend, Ronald Foster, may have been stealing money from the company.
That's quite a possibility. He was a real jerk. There was also Carol. Carol.
There he was, just sitting there. And those eyes were so hypnotic. There were dinners and then joining me for movies.
And then there is Leanne. I mean, if you haven't met her yet.
Detectives continued to pursue Susan's daughter, Leanne, as their prime suspect.
But I think that's bullshit.
Just when things looked the most hopeless, the investigators caught a lucky break. Detective Morris reopened the case with key evidence that had somehow been overlooked before. He brought that evidence directly to the prosecutor.
I knew who it was the whole time, so I was not surprised. I was not surprised at all. There was a lot of long, late, scary nights when I was younger.
I want you to take a really close look at these photos. Tell me if you see the cat.
That one.
You sure?
I'm positive. That's the diabolical little asshole.
Was this even possible? They dig deeper and re-examine the evidence collected at the crime scene.
This case relied completely on forensic evidence. When we first started looking at the bite wound that was on Mrs. McAllister, we contacted the veterinary forensic odontologist that we brought in. There's actually only 2 in the world. And I'm going to read you his statement now. It's him's mouthy mouth is standard floof, and him's teethers were all perfect. With the PU, lots of R's. And yepers, his teethers are the same width as the wove nibble that killed Susan.
When he came to me the midnight, I really did like the way that he looked. Cute, he was full of energy. When I check over animals, I am thorough. I am very thorough about that stuff. Started realizing that maybe the cat had something to do with it.
Hello, my name is Dr. Henry Gubertine. I'm an FBI investigator. I profile cats. I knew it was midnight. He had the motive, the means, and the opportunity. He was a special cat, and I could tell by his behavior. He would do the figure 8 rub back and forth, a little too rough.
So when the cat came to me the second time, what I noticed was he had this really weird look in his eye, like, kind of thing. This cat, Midnight, started developing a personality disorder, it seemed like, and I couldn't figure it out.
Midnight would make biscuits too hard. I mean, like, really get in there. Really, And that's part of the means right there, those claws. You could tell that Midnight took great care to sharpen his claws and never let them get clipped by the vet. If the vet tried to clip his claws, they would get a bite. In this particular case where Susan was found dead in her living room, there was a murder weapon. We did dust it for beans, not fingerprints, bean prints. Of course, Leanne was one of the main suspects found with the murder weapon in her hand. There's also Ronald and the other woman.
I first met Midnight in my own backyard. I had gone out to check the bird feeder, and there he was, just sitting there. Well, things with Midnight started getting a little more intense when he actually started coming into my home and then joining me for movies during the evenings. And later on, when I would go up to bed, he'd sometimes come with me.
Cats can't do this sort of thing. They can't. Rub their cheeks on your shoes, cover your pants and hair. Oh, and look at this. Oh, you're gonna love this. He's so cute. I love cats. Check this guy out. Isn't he the cutest?
A lot of people don't know that a cat can kill a human. They start out maybe small mice, birds, they graduate to squirrels, rabbits. there have been occasions where they find an unfortunate coyote, a deer, an elk, and then they graduate to human. And there was even a case in Alaska where a cat named Mr. Kittenfluff, aka Grizzly Cat, took down a bear. There was a case up in Maryland where the victim had been suffocated. And when the autopsy came back, they had found long, luxurious fur in her lungs. That was my first case where I realized that cats can be killers. Another case down in Florida, Poughkeepsie, Florida. A poor man named David Hindros, his cat made biscuits on his leg for so long it nicked an artery. He bled to death. And that is the sign of a psychopath cat. In order to understand the cat, you have to get inside their mind. You have to be inside the cat's mind. And so I found myself playing with cat toys.
That cat. No way. That's absolutely no bueno. The cat is not around here, right? The cat is not around here, right?
I did develop a severe problem with catnip. Street name, catgrass, kibbles and nips, kitty ketamine. I even caught the red dot once. I had a severe problem. Had to go to rehab for several months getting off the stuff.
So Ronald, if you didn't do it, why are you in jail?
Well, I was cutting off the tags from mattresses. You know?
Well, that's not really illegal, is it? I think that's just kind of a myth.
Hey! No, I did that a lot. A lot. People's houses, yeah.
After years of diligent work, prosecutors finally have a case, and 3 years after Susan's death, the case finally went to trial. The prosecution laid out the gruesome details of what they believed happened that day. Prosecutors believed that Susan was preparing dinner and stepped out of the kitchen for a moment. When she returned, she caught her cat Midnight on the kitchen counter. Trying to teach him manners as a house cat, Susan picked up a spray bottle and started to spray. Midnight flew into a rage, furious that a human would try to tell him what to do. He lunged at her with the full force of his claws, lacerating major vessels. She fell to the floor, where she bled to death.
I knew who it was the whole time, so I was not surprised.
The jury returns a verdict: guilty. Although it brings some relief to Susan's friends and family, everyone is affected, if not scarred, from this troubling ordeal.
I tell you, I was really shocked when I heard the verdict. I didn't think a cat could do such a thing. It's pretty awful. I still don't think cats can do it. I'm not convinced. But the jury spoke. My partner, young rookie, Detective Bryson. That kid needed a lot of work. Come to think of it, I don't think anyone's seen him in the last few years.
Yeah, the case was really hard on my dad. I mean, some people say that he just wasn't cut out for the work, but I don't think that's true. I think it was an intense case,
Sorry, there's a lot of emotions coming back. I was the assistant district attorney when the case first happened. It's been a while, and a lot of memories are coming back, most of them unpleasant. That cat must have hated her. I can still see his face. Can we stop?
But Susan, she really loved that cat. She was very dedicated to that cat. So, but what sticks in my mind is that evil look from that cat. He was staring at me all the time, so hard, like telling me, "You're next."
What am I doing now? Well, I am the DA for the city, which means I'm a dermatology assistant. I give out free lotion samples at the city mall. So things have kind of gone backward for me. In fact, I used to love cats. I had two. I don't have any anymore.
He's doing better now. He's traveled to the Netherlands. He does monk work now.
You know, we've come a long way since then. I feel like each of us, in our own way, is shaped by her memory. And we hold hands and we think about the good times, you know? It's like I work on boats now just to make sure nothing happens to anyone like my daddy, you know?
I read to little youngins who don't have parents to read to them anymore. Oh, also I have Nancy shop and I resell these bandanas at a time because they've always been my signature accessory.
I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon. I work at a university. So
No one takes me seriously. I've caught the red dot. Caught it once. Someone close the window.